So welcome to this morning's class. Again, well done for showing up on a Saturday morning. Not always easy. So we'll begin today's class in the opening Shavasana. You can just bring the feet wide apart to the edge of your mat and just allow the body to lie back. Drawing the arms away from the body, palms facing upwards. And we'll bring the eyes to close. Taking a deep inhale and exhaling, sighing your breath out through your mouth. Deeply inhaling and sighing the breath out. And one more time, deeply inhaling and letting go as we sigh the breath out. And just allow your mind, body to arrive on your mat this morning for your practice. Letting go of any worries, any stresses for the next hour. You've nowhere to be, you've nowhere to go. Just be right here on your mat. We'll begin to tune into the breath to ground us on our mat this morning. So placing both hands on your belly. Take a deep inhale into the bottom of the belly and just feel the belly expand. Feeling the hands rise. Exhaling, feeling the stomach contract, feeling the hands fall. Inhaling, feeling the stomach expand, feeling the hands rise. Exhaling, feeling the stomach contract, feeling the hands fall. Leaving one hand on your belly, I just invite you to place the other hand on your chest. This time, again, breathing deeply into the bottom of the belly, feeling the belly expand and allowing the breath to rise up into the chest, the top hand. Exhaling, relaxing the chest, feeling the stomach contract as you empty the lungs. Inhaling deeply into the bottom of the belly, feeling the belly expand as the breath rises up into the chest. Feeling the chest expand and exhaling, relaxing the chest, feeling the stomach contract as you empty the lungs. Just continue with a few more cycles of this diaphragm breath, allowing the inhales to flow into the exhales and the exhales to flow into the inhales. So it's like a circular, continuous breath. Bringing your attention back to your body. Keeping the legs extended, we'll reach the arms up over the head and get a full body stretch. Remaining with the arms reached up over the head, we'll place both the hands to the top right-hand side of your mat and both your feet to the bottom right-hand side, so you're in a banana shape. Feeling a nice stretch to the left side body here. Deep breath. Come back to center. And out to the left-hand side, both the hands to the top left and both the feet to the bottom left. So you're in a banana shape and feel a nice stretch to the right side body. And come back to center. We'll gently hug the knees in towards the chest. Hug them in nice and tightly here and just begin to rock up and down on the spine and just allow the spine to loosen out on your mat. And then we'll gently rock to seated. Coming to a nice cross-legged position here. Joining the hands together at heart center. And just take a moment here to acknowledge yourself for arriving on your mat this morning. And just setting an intention for today's class. Bowing the head towards the hands, opening the eyes. Namaste. To begin today's class, we'll just get a warm up into the shoulders. So we'll place the tips of the fingers on the tops of the shoulders and we'll make forward circular motions with the elbows. Gradually making the circles wider, tuning into the breath. Deep breaths here. And the other direction. Synchronizing the breath with the movement. And exhale, release. You can drop the hands down. We move into a side bend. So place the left hand beside the left hip. Inhale, raise the right arm over the head. Inhaling to lengthen, exhale to fold. Taking a couple of deep breaths here. Exhale, release, drop the right hand down, raising the left arm, lengthening, folding. Keeping the chest open. Exhale, release, drop the left hand down, raise the right arm, exhale to fold. And release, drop the right hand down, raising the left arm, lengthening, folding. Deep breaths. And exhale, release. Take a deep breath. Placing the left hand behind the back, right arm across the left knee. Inhale, extend the spine by lifting the chest. Exhaling, twisting out to the left. On your inhales, lengthen. On your exhales, twist. Once you find your end range, just tuning into the breath here, gazing over the left shoulder. Inhaling, come to center. Right hand behind the back, left arm across the right knee. Inhale, extend the spine by lifting the chest. Exhale, twisting out to the right. Inhales, lengthen. Exhales, twist. Turning the head to gaze over the right shoulder. Inhaling, come back to center. And from here, we'll move to kneeling. So from this kneeling position, we're going to shift the left leg out to the side, toes facing forward. Finding your balance here. We'll drop the right hand to the mat and raise the left arm over the head, keeping the chest open. Deep breaths here. Engaging that left foot and reaching out through the left arm. Inhale, come up, left hand, left knee, raise the right arm. Keep that left foot engaged at all times. We're going to move into our fluid movement here. So on the exhales, we'll be releasing. On the inhales, we'll be coming up. You can move at your own pace or you can move with me. So I'm going to take a deep inhale here. Exhale, release. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release. And inhale, come up. And exhale, you can drop the hand down, join the knees together. Shifting the right leg out to the side, toes facing forward. Drop your left hand to your mat and raise your right arm up. Deep breaths. Keeping that right foot engaged and reaching out through the right arm. Inhale, come up, right hand, right knee, raise the left arm. And moving fluidly here with the breath. Inhaling and exhale, release. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release. Inhale, come up. And you can release the hands down and join the knees together. And we'll move into a bit of shoulder mobility now. So we'll begin by raising the left arm out to the side, palm facing downward. Flip the back of the hand towards me. Again, we're going to try and move from the shoulder socket here. So you should feel the shoulder move in its socket as we flick the palm to the ceiling. Back of the hand facing me, palm to the ceiling, and back of the hand facing me. From here, taking a bend into that left elbow, placing the back of your hand in between the shoulder blades, raising the right arm, bending at the right elbow, and joining the hands in behind the back. Keeping that right elbow lifted here, relaxing the neck, deep breaths. My hands are not touching today. It's completely normal for some mornings to be a bit tight in the shoulders. Just focus on the breath. And exhale, release. Okay, other side, right arm out to the side, palm facing downwards. I sometimes like to put my finger, a couple of my fingers here, just to make sure I can feel the shoulder moving from the shoulder socket. So back of the hand facing me, palm to the ceiling, back of the hand facing me, palm to the ceiling, and back of the hand facing me. Okay, bending into that elbow, placing the middle of your back of your hand in between the shoulder blades, raising the left arm, bending at the elbow, and catching the hands in behind the back. So again, one side will feel completely different to the other. I find it quite easy to catch the hands in behind the back on this side, on the other I can't. Keep that left elbow lifted and tune into the breath. Relaxing the neck. And exhale, release. Gently releasing the hands, and we'll come to tabletop, hands at the front of your mat. Knees are tracking under the hips. Finding your balance here in tabletop. And we'll move into a cat-cow to warm up the spine. So really rolling through each vertebrae here. As we inhale, lifting the spine towards the ceiling. Rounding the upper back. Deep breaths. Exhaling, dropping the belly button, lifting the tailbone, opening the chest. Inhale, spine up, rolling vertebrae by vertebrae, rounding the upper back, The space between the shoulder blades really rounding up. And dropping the belly button. Lifting the tailbone, opening the chest. And gently we'll come to a neutral spine. Okay, moving into our superhero pose. So extending the left leg out behind you, right arm out in front, lift the left foot off the floor and point the left toes. Finding your balance here. Grounding down equally into that left hand and the right knee. Deep breaths. Inhaling, right elbow, left knee. Exhale, extend. Inhaling, knee to elbow. Exhale, extend. Moving with the breath. Inhaling, knee to elbow. Exhale, extend. And release. Drop the hand and knee back down. Take a deep breath. Other side. Extend the right leg out behind and left arm out in front. Lift the right foot off the floor and point the right toes here. Grounding down equally into the right hand and the left knee. Finding your balance. Inhaling, knee to elbow. Exhale, extend. Inhaling, knee to elbow. Moving with the breath. Exhale, extend. Inhaling, knee to elbow. Exhale, extend. And release, drop the hand and knee back down, take a deep breath. From here, we'll move into child's pose. So joining the big toes together behind you. Shift the knees wide apart, sit the hips back towards the heels, reach the arms out ahead, and then sink your chest and forehead into your mat. We'll take 5 deep breaths here. Remembering to tune into that diaphragm breath. And gently, you can come up. And we're actually going to come into a seated position here. So we're going to extend the legs out in front. This is just a really kind of nice warm-up twist. So I like to keep a nice bend into the knees here. The focus isn't on the legs, it's more on the twisting of the spine. So I keep a nice generous bend into the knees. From here, you're going to place the left hand to the outer edge of your right foot. And then twist out to the right, raising that right arm out behind. And then take deep breaths into that upper back. So the left hand is grabbing the outer edge of the right foot. And exhale, release, come back to center. Okay, other side. So this time, the right hand is grabbing the outer edge of the left foot. And we're going to raise that left arm out behind us, coming into a twist. Deep breaths here. And gently come back to center. From here, we'll rock back into tabletop. And then from tabletop, we're going to take a tuck into our toes. We're going to sit the hips back towards the heels, and then we're going to lift the hips, downward facing dog. First downward dog of class, nice and gentle with the body. We're going to pedal the feet to release the calves and the hamstring. Deep breaths. Inhaling, walking the feet towards the hands. And once you reach the front of your mat, we'll take a nice generous bend into the knees and just fold over the knees, grabbing opposite elbows with the hands, And just allowing the elbows to become heavy here. Try and find some rounding into that upper back. Tuning into the breath. And gently rolling through the spine, we'll come to standing. And from here, we're going to go into one of our postural movements. So keeping the feet together. Actually, we'll keep them hip distance apart, just makes it a bit easier. And from here, we're going to shift the hips. We're going to move from the pelvis, and we're just going to shift the hips out to the left-hand side. So the weight is in that left leg. We're going to raise the left arm, and we're just going to allow that right arm to become heavy as we come into a side bend. Try and bring the head back to center. This is very, very good movement for our posture. So again, we'll drop the hand and come back to center. We'll repeat on the other side. So keeping the hips neutral, we're going to shift the hips out to the right-hand side. So you just feel the weight going into that right leg. We're going to raise that right arm, and we're going to allow this left arm to become heavy. As we side bend. And then once you reach your end range with the side bend, just bring the head back to center, keeping the eyes on the horizon. And gently back to center. Okay, we'll come to the front of our mats again, and we'll move into a nice gentle back bend as well, just to create a lift in the chest. So interlocking the fingers out behind us. Again, we want that movement of moving the pelvis forward and down, and the opposition in the chest by lifting the chest and the rib cage. So pelvis, sending the hips forward and down, lifting the chest. And once you reach your end range, just relaxing and tuning into the breath. Going back to neutral. We'll do that one more time. So sending the pelvis forward and down. And then lifting the chest. Deep breaths. And gently come back to center. And now we'll move into our sun salutation. So I won't be able to do all of this, so just try and follow my verbal cues as opposed to visual. So standing up nice and tall, rolling the shoulders back and down the spine, finding length in the neck. Just find a nice settled position here. Inhale, raise the arms, looking towards the thumbs. Exhale, fold over the knees. Inhale, halfway lift, hands on the shins, sending the chest forward, feeling some length in the spine. Exhale, release your hands to your mat. You can step or jump the feet back into plank. Bending the elbows, press up position, chaturanga. Inhale, rolling over the toes, lifting the chest, upward facing dog. Exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Distributing the weight evenly here between the arms and the legs. Finding some length in the spine, gazing towards the knees or the belly button. Finding some stillness, tuning into the breath. Looking between the palms, inhaling, stepping both the feet forward to the front of your mat, halfway lift, hands on the shins, sending the chest forward. Exhale, fold. Inhaling, raising the arms, joining the palms, looking towards the front. And exhale, release. Take a deep breath. Okay, so before we move into the standing asanas, I did this kind of fun little thing yesterday with a group of kids. It's one that I remember from India. So it's pretty simple, but it's for your balance, basically, your proprioception. So just stand in kind of a general standing position like this, and just place the right foot directly in front of the left foot. And just find your balance here. You might wobble, you might find it very easy. And once you find your balance, close your eyes. You might sway from side to side, you might completely lose your balance. And you can open the eyes. We'll do it on the other side. So we did right leg forward, right foot forward last time. So left foot forward this time, directly in front of the right foot. Once you find your balance, close the eyes. Something so simple, but so hard. And then you can gently open the eyes, and we'll step the feet wide apart as we move into our standing asanas. It can be nice to close the eyes throughout the practice. We did it a few times in India. So at any stage, if you feel like you've become very familiar with these standing asanas, if you want to bring the eyes to close, it can just bring a depth to the practice. So it might be something to think about. If you don't want to do it today, it might be at some later stage, something you might want to try. So we'll begin with side angle by turning the right foot out 90 degrees. We'll take a bend into that right knee, so the ankle and knee is in line. Right forearm, right knee, raise the left arm over the head, keeping the chest open. Deep breaths here. Keeping a bend into that right knee, we're going to use that left hand to guide us up, raising the arms to shoulder level. Warrior two, gazing towards the right middle finger. Tuning into the breath here. Right forearm, right knee, raise the left arm. Tuning into the breath. Inhaling, using that left hand to guide us up, raising the arms to shoulder level. Warrior two. Finding your alignment and then tuning into the breath. Inhale, come up, turn the foot in. Okay, other side. Turning the left foot out 90 degrees. Taking a bend into that left knee, so the ankle and knee is in line. Left forearm, left knee, raise the right arm. Deep breaths here. Inhale, keeping a bend into that left knee, raising the arms to shoulder level, warrior two. Turning the head to gaze towards the left middle finger. The left knee is tracking towards the baby toe side of the left foot. Exhale, release left forearm, left knee, raise the right arm. Deep breaths. Inhale, come up, raising the arms to shoulder level, warrior two. Turning the head to gaze towards the left middle finger. Reaching out through both arms equally, finding some strength in this posture. And inhale, come up, turn your foot in. And you can join the knees to get the feet together as we move into tree pose. So we'll start with the right leg. We're going to ground down into the right leg and turn the left foot out. Again, lifting that left foot, placing it towards the inside of the calf, if that's where you are today. If you like, you can lift it above that right knee, gently placing it to the inner side of your thigh. And we'll join the hands together here. Taking 5 deep breaths. And exhale, release, close the hip, extend the leg. Repeating on the other side. So once you find your balance, tuning into the breath. Rounding down into the left leg, we'll turn the right foot out. Lifting the right foot off the floor, placing it to the inner side of the left calf. Or you can lift it above that left knee and place it to the inner side of the thigh. Once you find your balance, joining the hands together at heart center, tuning into the breath. Keeping that right foot engaged, pressed in against that left leg. Deep breaths. And release, closing the hip, extending the leg. And from here, you can make your way to the front of your mat. We're going to move into Utkatasana. Standing up nice and tall, finding some length in the spine and lift in the chest. Inhaling, bending the knees, raising the arms above your head. Keeping the knees pressed together. Deep breaths. Joining the hands together at heart center, we're going to twist out to the right hand side, hooking the left elbow across the right knee. Tuning into your breath. Inhaling back to center, and then twisting out to the left, hooking the right elbow across the left knee. And gently come back to center. Taking a breath here, raising the arms. And then gently folding over the knees, keeping a nice gentle bend in the knees, allow the upper body to become heavy, rounding the upper back. Engaging the palms on your mat, finding some strength in the shoulders, and jumping the hips upwards as we come back into plank. Again, finding some height here as we jump the hip, jump the feet in between the palms. Rounding your fingers on your mat, remembering to jump the hips upwards as we jump back into plank. Jumping the hips forwards. And final time, we're going to jump the hips back. And then walking the feet in slightly and lifting the hips, coming into downward facing dog. Inhaling, raising the right leg straight out behind you, coming into three-legged dog. Taking a bend into that right knee. We're going to shift the weight forwards into our shoulders, drawing the right knee towards the right elbow. And exhale, extend it behind you, three-legged dog. Inhaling, right knee, hug it in towards the nose. And then gently step the foot between the palms, coming into a runner's lunge. Keeping that left leg engaged behind you. Framing the right foot. Finding your balance. And then once we find our balance, we're going to lift the belly and chest away from the thigh, coming into warrior one. You can have the hands together at heart center, or you can reach them over the head. Deep breaths. And gently, from this position, we're going to twist out to the right-hand side, hooking the left elbow across the right knee. Finding your breath, keeping that left leg engaged. Framing the right foot with the hands, step the right foot to meet the left foot, downward facing dog. Inhaling, raising the left leg out behind you, three-legged dog. Taking a bend into the left knee, drawing the left knee towards the nose as you shift the weight into your shoulders. And extend it out behind you, three-legged dog. Taking a breath and drawing the left knee towards the nose. Hugging it in tightly. And gently stepping the foot between the palms, coming into our runner's lunge. Keeping that right leg engaged, framing the left foot. And we're going to lift that belly and chest away from the thigh. Coming into a runner's lunge, coming into warrior one here. Keeping that right leg engaged. Deep breaths. And gently, we're going to twist out to the left-hand side, hooking the right elbow across the left knee, coming into a twist. Finding your breath, keeping that right leg engaged. And exhale, release, frame the left foot with the hands, coming into child's pose for 5 breaths. Finding your diaphragm breath here. And from here, you can come up. We're going to move into a few core strengthening poses here. So we're going to begin with Navasana. So you can come to a seated position. So just come to seated and draw the heels in towards the sit bones. Keeping the chest lifted. So from here, placing the hands under the knee creases, we're going to lift the feet. And then from here, there's the option to straighten the arms. And if you like, you can also straighten the legs. Finding your breath here, keeping the knees drawn together. Deep breaths. And exhale, release. Lowering the feet down, crossing the legs. Take a deep breath. Okay, so this time I want us to tune into our core strength. So we do this by drawing the belly button in towards the spine. You can just practice here in a cross-legged position. just sucking the belly button in towards the spine. And as you do so, getting a slight almost lift to the belly button as well. So I want you to translate this into the posture. So again, hands under the knee creases, lift the feet. And there's the option to straighten the arms. And now I want you to tune into that core strength. Breathing as you do so. One more deep breath and release. Okay, from here, we're going to move into our transition from plank into side plank. So we're going to take 5 breaths in plank. We're then going to place the left hand into the middle under our eyes, roll onto the side of our left foot, come into side plank, raising the right arm. We'll come back into plank for a couple of breaths and repeat on the other side. So you can just follow me. We're going to come into plank first. So coming into a nice high plank here, keeping those hips lifted, rounding the upper back. Finding some breath. Tuning into that core strength, sucking the belly button towards the spine. And we're going to come into side plank here, placing your left hand under the eyes, rolling onto the side of your left foot, and raising the right arm. Tuning into the breath, keeping that left hand and the outer edge of your left foot engaged. These are your 2 points of counter with the mat, points of pressure. Inhaling, come back into plank. This time placing the right hand under the eyes and rolling onto the side of your right foot, raising the left arm. Again, engaging into that right hand and the outer edge of the right foot. Finding your breath. And gently come back into plank, take a breath, and release. Come into child's pose. Take a couple of breaths. So all of these postures lead up into our crow pose. So we're going to do a little bit of practice with crow pose today. So you can just observe me. There is an option just to do this, just to come into a gentle squat. Place the hands in front of you, kind of lift the heels, and you can just kind of rock into the hands here and just get used to shifting weight into the hands. Now, this is kind of the easiest version. It's also more relaxing. So if that's where you are today, you can just do this, shifting the weight forward, shifting the weight back. Now for a bit more of a challenge, you can come into crow. So this is simply bending the knees, releasing the hands to the mat, taking a bend into the elbows, resting the knees just above the elbows here on the triceps, engaging the fingers on your mat, and then just lift one foot and lift the other foot. The key to this is keeping the gaze focused. So keep the gaze focused on the floor, about a foot in front of where your hands are. And then just focus on lifting one foot and lifting the other. And we'll do a few rounds of this, just do maybe 5 on each side. And just get used to shifting the weight into your hands. So again, a bend into the knees, resting the knees on the triceps. And then just lifting one leg, lifting the other, remembering to keep the gaze focused. This is tricky. requires a lot of strength. So just take a few rounds and then have a few deep breaths. Just getting used to your hands taking the weight. To make yourself feel a bit lighter, you can tune into that core strength again by sucking the belly button into the spine. And we're going to gently release. So again, that's another one to practice. I have the tutorial up in the page, so if you ever want to practice it, you can. And we're just going to come to a gentle cross-legged position here. And we're going to take 5 deep breaths, just to allow the breath to settle, allow the body to settle before our closing Shavasana. So you can just rest the hands on the lap or on the knees. And tune into your breath, your diaphragm breath, doing it at your own pace, finding some rhythm to the breath, allowing the inhales to flow into the exhales and the exhales to flow into the inhales, finding a continuous circular breath. And gently you can release your breath and we'll come into the closing Shavasana. So just allowing the feet to come wide apart to the edge of the mat. It might be nice just to light a candle, open the window, find a blanket, find a pillow, whatever just allows you to switch off. Sometimes it can be uncomfortable to keep the legs stretched out for the entire closing Shavasana. So if you need to take a bend into the knees, this is completely normal. Just allow yourself to be comfortable in your space. And just take this 10 minutes to absorb all the benefits of your practice this morning. Giving yourself permission to switch off from all your worries and all your stresses. Bring your attention to your feet, relaxing the toes. Relax the soles of your feet. Relax your heels. Relax your ankles, calves, the backs of your knees. Relax your hamstrings. And relax the hips, allowing the hips to open out like a book. Bring your attention to your hands, releasing each of the fingers, relaxing the thumbs, and softening the palms of your hands. Just notice if there's any gripping, any tension in the wrists and the hands, and if there is, just allow them to release. Relax your forearms, elbows, upper arms, relax your shoulders, allowing your shoulders to draw away from your ears. Bring your attention to the base of your spine, and we'll begin to relax each vertebrae as you work your way up through your spine. Lower back, mid back, upper back. Relax your neck. Relax the back of your head, allowing the back of your head to sink into your mat. Bring your attention to your face, relaxing your jaw, relaxing the tongue, allowing your tongue to draw away from the roof of your mouth. Relax your cheeks, relax the space around your eyes, and we'll begin to relax the eyelids, allowing the eyes to sink towards the back of your head. Allowing them to sink a little bit deeper. Relax the space between your eyebrows. Relax your forehead. Relaxing every single hair on the top of your head. Relax your entire body, from the soles of your feet to the tips of your fingers to the crown of your head. Joyful, energetic body. And just begin to open the heart, opening the heart to receiving love and giving love. We will now move into silence for the next couple of minutes, tuning into the breath here. If you become distracted, just bringing your attention back to your breath as it travels through your body. Gently bring your attention back to your body, just making any movements you'd like to wake up the body. Keeping the legs extended, joining the feet together on your mat and reaching the arms up overhead will get a final full body stretch. And exhale, release. Gently bending the knees, we'll roll over to the right hand side and make a cushion with the hand. Taking a couple of deep breaths here. And then you can rock your way to seated, coming to a cross-legged position at the front of your mat. Keeping the eyes closed, drawing the hands together at heart center. And just taking a moment here to acknowledge yourself for arriving on your mat this morning. And taking the energy of your practice and allowing it to guide you through your day. Keeping the heart open. As we rub the hands together, creating heat, creating energy. Placing the palms of the hands over the eyes. We'll blink the eyes open to the darkness of the palms, drawing the hands away from the eyes to the light. Namaste. Thanks very much, everyone.